Hey guys, Andrew from the future here, starting out the video to let you know that during the week of July 18th to July 22nd, I did 2 audio setup jobs for Sachse High School and then for Crockett High School down in South Austin, and I don't think I got really enough footage from either one for a full video for each of them, so you're going to notice that we cut from the Sachse High School footage to Crockett High School in this one video to cover both schools together. Alright, let's get started. Good morning, y'all. Andrew at Microphonic Designs here, joining you on the way down to Sachse High School. It is Monday, July something. I don't remember the date off the top of my head. Bit of a chaotic morning today. Just sometimes it just is like that. And I was like driving a few minutes ago. My wife made me some breakfast, and I'm trying to like eat it in the car as I go, and I had to slam on the brakes. And that wonderful breakfast went and flew all over the passenger side floor of the car. So I got to figure something out. But that's okay. We're headed down to do an installation at Sachse. I don't know what their layout is. I do know that they are having percussion camp this week. So there very well may be students rehearsing today while we're trying to work. But we'll see how it goes. You know, that's not impossible to work around. It does slow things down a little bit sometimes, but it's not that big of a deal. So let's see what we're working with. Let's get down there, and hopefully it goes smoothly today. I'm sure it will. All right.
I can bring the laptop though. And I have one.
Fourteen, 15 inputs. Once we get cables off these instruments, let's get them sorted in the back by length. Okay.
On like what we need to do with the mallet station, or
is it gonna be a separate part from the MoXF?
Actually, I do not know yet.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have like at this moment we have one because we have one synth player, but we're probably going to get another one. So we're about to inherit. We'll probably have 2.
Got it.
So at this moment, at this camp, we have 1.
Sure.
And so at this, we were using the mallet station almost just for practice purpose, but I know that Holly wants to put it part of the show.
Sure.
So that's all.
I mean, you invest in it, you want to use it.
Exactly.
So I'll make sure that we have 2 synth channels coming in. The main thing that I'm concerned with now is sort of the channel count on the Snake, because there's a few channels it looks like that don't work maybe.
Yeah.
But from the looks of it, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh,
yeah. And my curiosity, this is where Kevin will come in, because I don't know if it's these don't work or he just didn't want kids to accidentally plug into them. So I can see.
What we'll do, because I got to clean out this whole cart anyway, is I will test the channels.
Yeah.
We'll just do that. We'll test the channels, make sure they work, or if they don't work, and hopefully they work. That's the plan, because we're going to have 8 inputs for the marimbas. I know last year y'all were using like a little summing box.
Yeah.
Not going to do that this year. We're going to have separate channels. And then 3, so 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12, 13, 14, 15. So at least 15 channels for everything. And that's not too much. And then the wireless stuff, we'll have room in the back of the mixer for plenty of wireless, which is, it looks like just 4 for now. So
now I remember Kevin had, and this is something, Kevin had his Focusrite, like he brought, and I remember we used for. I was like, is that part of a thing that we're gonna need to have?
Yeah.
I have my personal one, but that's probably something on the list. I was like,
definitely something on the list.
But I could bring it up. It's a 2i2.
That's all you need. I mean, even the Focusrite Solo is enough.
Yeah.
For what we need, unless you're planning on doing lots of processing. The school that I did a setup for on Saturday was running 16 channels into the laptop for processing.
Gosh.
It's crazy. Their show designer wanted to have I think it was 5 shotgun mics, 5 wireless, 7 from the drum set going in to a laptop for digital processing.
See, you said drum set enough.
And then out. And I spent like half of the day just trying to figure out how are we going to do this. So today for me, this is much more chill.
Oh, really? Okay, good.
This is much more chill.
I thought we were going to be the crazy one.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Are you talking about the sales people?
No, you know that red focused, right? Or it's that little red box that Kevin. Yeah. Yeah, I can. That was his. Yeah, that was his personal one.
We really
Yeah.
need to purchase one.
I know that's what. I
we'll
mean,
need that.
I can bring mine today and make it work for whatever we need. But,
Yeah, and
that's part of that list. That hey, Holly, we need to get this. We need to.
Yeah, and really what I would probably recommend is if you guys are going to invest in one, get one of the bigger ones if you can.
Yeah, more channels.
A little more expensive, but it's the outputs that I'm concerned with.
Yeah.
Because if you ever do have a year where you have 2 kids playing synth or main stage, you want to have 2 different sets of outputs.
Yeah.
So that in the mixer here, you've got 2 synths.
Yeah.
Like you can actually control the volume of the 2. It just makes it a lot more flexible. I mean, you don't have to do that.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. No, but it would be easier.
But if the ability is there to do that, then I would recommend doing that.
Yeah.
How are we doing on those cables back there? They're all sorted? Okay, let me get some of you guys hooked up with the cable test. Okay, some work to do back here. A lot of work to do back here. Who am I kidding? All right, off we go. It would not be an official video without a time lapse of some sort. So this is just the process of taking apart and dismantling all of that wireless equipment, because there's a certain way that I like to do it. I like to have the distribution box on top and then the receiver units below or beneath the distribution box. And I'm not sure why. That's just kind of how I do it. But I did have to undo a whole bunch of cables. I took the power cables off here so that I could first focus on the RF antenna cables going from the distro box. I'm getting them untangled now. And then I go back through and put the power cables on. And you'll see here I stack the receivers and then the distro box on top. And here is the final result, color-coded and much more neat and tidy in the back there. Man, look at this. Seems to happen a lot with these things. I'm gonna move this down. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can fix this. You guys see that? Oh my gosh. Let's see if I can fix that with the electronics kit. And this is just a quick shot of the wireless reorganized in the mixer cart, rack mounted, and I have the distribution box power supply zip tied together so that that's not going to come apart. And this is a quick look in the back, so it's just really nice and tidy, ready for use. This is another quick time lapse after getting the wireless stuff in the back there of, I think I was getting the audio output cables from the mixer, yeah, the left and the right outputs, going down to the amplifiers. And I really try my best to keep the power cables, like the power cables that are connected to the amplifiers, separated from the audio cables, because we just don't want any interference. And even with balanced signals, you know, we just want to try and stick to the best practices, which is keeping power and audio cables separated. But sometimes in these confined spaces in the backs of these carts, you know, it's inevitable that some cables are going to be next to each other like that. But you just do your best trying to keep it as neat and clean as I can. Good stuff. All right, this is looking much cleaner. Looking really good in here. Got the wireless plugged in. Power's run kind of in the middle. Try to keep the audio away from that, going around the side there. And then I'm just going to get the Ethernet cable plugged in to the console here. And then I'll be finished up in the back. For the most part. I got to get the snake in here, but that's sort of its own separate thing. And the snake is just going to go into inputs 1 through 16, because I think we only need 15 inputs, and that leaves us 4 extra, which is great. And we're not doing a separate send for the subwoofers, so we're just going to do the main left-right output into the subs, and then we're going to use the 1/4-inch jumpers to pull the sub signal from the top amp down to the bottom amp. And then we've got the internal filters got this one set in subwoofer mode for the subs. And then on the marimba next to that one, let me have you rotate the microphone so that they're facing the other way. Okay. I basically want the part that attaches to the cable facing in. And here's the final footage from Sachse. Just a quick overview of the cabling and kind of how things are laid out. A great shot of the snakes coming into the mixer cart right there. That's the final shot of the mixer cart. And basically what I have is 2 snakes in the pit. The main one right here for the marimba and vibraphone mics. And then here we head over to the short 8-channel snake for the synthesizer and malice station. And this is where we're going to cut over to Crockett. Alright, I'm going to keep this intro pretty short. I hadn't planned on vlogging this particular setup, but I think that there's enough unique stuff going on this year around with this school that I'll share it with you guys. So this morning I drove on down to Crockett High School. My good friend Brianna Minke is the head director over here, and she had me come down to get stuff set up for this year, of course. And so earlier today, what I've done so far, I've gotten the speakers kind of rocked back at an angle so they're facing up. I've sort of zip tied the ends of these speak-on cables, which are unique because they have a 4-conductor connector at the mixer cart, and then they split out into 2 different cables at the speaker end. So I zip tied one of the ends because we only need one of them, recolor coded the cart, got the speakers strapped in. The other end is white. They've got a lone sub on the 50. We've got this mixer cart. Now for those of you that have watched my series last year, you'll have seen what the setup was last year. And this is just what it looks like. Again, I did all of this almost a year ago. Tilted that speaker back, and I actually did the bungee method because that's just what we have here for the mics. And I'm pretty proud of this. It's like a zip tie bungee cord combo, which got the microphones at exactly the right spot that I was looking for the marimba. This vibraphone has a Tough Carts frame, and I couldn't quite get the mic where I wanted, so I used like an old extra windscreen as sort of a custom shock mount against the bar, and then I've got these bungee cables here kind of holding the mic on, so this is fairly isolated from the frame, and I'm really hoping that that will eliminate most of the frame noise at least. And then over here we've got, this will be a little bit harder to see, but just a standard bungee cable job, one of them coming to the front resonator, the other one going to the back, and that hangs the mic right about where I want it. So I'm getting ready to run cables in this way. We're going to go to a snake, the Hosa Little Bro Sub Snake that I've already color coded, and then this cart here, fresh new Pageantry Innovation synth cart. It's open frame. We're going to have a DTX mono channel coming out because we only have a mono DI box. And there you go. Crockett band. First things first, of course, this is your mixer cart. This is where all the goodies are. The amplifiers are good to go in terms of their filter settings. But based on the venue that you go to, you may need to turn the dials. Of course, you do have control over that. I'll have to get you all the list of like the new, like this is no more.
Sure. Oh, did you do the wireless mics today?
I got them plugged in.
Okay.
They're going. They have reverb and stuff. So that's part of like the new order. So basically, you got your main, your 2 far speakers, and then the sub is here on bus 9. No, that's important. I think when you boot the console, it defaults to 1 through 8, but to control the sub, you have to go to 9 through 16. And same with the reverb volume, that's bus 13. So you'll have, and I'll make sure you have this in a spreadsheet, you'll have sub, reverb, the mains, and then it's just left to right. So vibraphone, marimba high, marimba low, DTX, and then the 7 and 8 are 2 wireless channels. And that's it. The settings, you're probably going to have to go through and do gain, set the gain, but the EQ should be close. But again, You know, as long as you're not going insane with the EQ, like crazy boosting stuff or whatever, it should be fine.
Yeah, most of the stuff I do is just like subtractive EQing rather than boosting stuff.
Yeah, and with the 58s, you know, I'm really used to using the Audio-Technica microphone everybody has, but the 58s, again, you may have to do a little more, but I've got it at a pretty decent starting spot. That reminds me, we should go in and do the scenes. There we go. Yes, please. Okay, there's your 2022 template. So you'll make sure you load that up every day, or at least you load that to start to set your gains and do all that. You'll probably have a warm-up scene, and then you'll build the show off that. Probably won't be too many scenes for the show. Three, maybe one for each movement, and then maybe one for the wireless. In fact, that might even do it. It's like a scene for the wireless, and then not. Right. So that's fine. Cables are pretty straightforward. I'm just pulling the mic signals into sort of the middle. So Vibe 1 mic is the red cables, Vibe 2 is the white, and then we have blue and yellow. The snake itself is also color-coded. So the snake will need to be deployed each day, so it'll get wrapped up, and there's some Velcro straps on the back of the cart there to hold it. So you'll have to pull the snake out. You know, obviously keep the board muted. Kids will plug in, they give the thumbs up, it can be unmuted, and then a power cable is going to have to come out this way as well for the DTX. Only thing that is not in here right now, and because we're going to have to do a bit of a treasure hunt for it, is the internal monitor speaker. But once you find a monitor speaker, and again, I really suggest a powered one, you'll of course plug the power cable into the strip, and then I've set this cable here to go from the out of the DI to here, and then this would go to the monitor speaker. So this is an extra cable for that. And then it's up to you guys whether or not you want to like rack mount the DTX. You could also take the mount thing on the bottom off and just have it sit there, and then the bell kit will go on the left side. And that's about it. The colors and the zip ties, all that, none of that should come off, but keep an eye out. Sometimes, you know, the heat can really make the tape get all gooey and nasty and stuff. But that's it. It is a little bit of a smaller setup, but still took a little effort to get it right. I think the new synth cart really helps. Last thing, you're gonna have to learn how to import samples and assign samples to this thing. Okay. I have a very comprehensive blog post on my website that I'll make sure y'all have the link to, and it has like videos and stuff in there as well with pictures. I mean, it's everything you could possibly need to know about how to load samples into this. I made the grave mistake of exporting the samples in the wrong format, so I have to go back and reformat all of the samples for part 1, and then the sheet music has the like mapping of like what pad each sound needs to go on. Okay. And the sheet music, I think there's it says somewhere in there is a kit change, so it'll need to be split up between like user kit number 1 and then a second user kit for part 1 of the show music. You'll see that in there. Okay. But it's all straightforward. I've instead of sticking, I've labeled what pad it is, you know, and then I've also put text in the sheet music for like what the sound effect is, and I also wrote the name of the sample on there so that it should be like as straightforward as it can possibly be. And this is the important part. This is going to help fill out the ensemble. Right. This is really important. And you know what? And I may redo all the samples in mono because we found the mono DI box there as well. All the samples are in stereo, so I might I don't know. I might redo them. But yeah, that's it.
Can you remind me what we do for these?
For the wireless, yes.
Here's one. Where's the other one?
The other one, I think, is it not in the pack? No. I unpacked a whole bunch of. These are the old ones.
Oh, right. Yeah, these are.
Those are not the QLXD.
We might only have one.
Well, there's two QLXD receivers over there.
So it would have come with a sample?
It would have had 2 of those packs, yeah. Oh, you know what your other one is? This mic right here.
Oh, okay.
It's a handheld. It's not a body pack.
So it would have to be on a stand.
Yeah, which is fine, but
it's awkward.
But it would be stationary out there.
And we'd have to put it right on the sideline.
Is that QL? No, that's PGX. It's not that mic. I thought it was that mic.
I thought we did use this last year.
Well, I'm pretty sure
No,
there's...
we used a corded mic last year.
That's right. I remember that. It was a corded mic. A wired mic. So you have, yeah, 2 QLXD receivers in here. And, yeah, let me show you how to scan and sync. It's another important thing. Scanning and syncing.
I think so.
What?
Are they digital?
They are. They ain't cheap.
I don't know why we wouldn't have both.
It's bound to be around here somewhere. So.
Well, you know, I remember this year we had 2 soloists, and David told me we only had one of those. He's like, you need to buy another one. So I don't know why.
You can buy these separately, and I can sell it to you too.
Okay, we might just do that.
So I can probably help you get one of these a lot cheaper than
Sweet.
like Straight or whoever. Yeah. So right now this one is linked up with that one, but when you go out, you know, you'll hit menu for scan and then enter, and it'll scan the area for the best thing that it finds. And it is important, the group number is important. So like whatever venue you go to outside of Austin, like if there's an away game, it's important that you go to the Shure Frequency Finder, which is a web page, punch in the zip code of where you're going, and they will tell you what group you should be on. And then when you get there, that's when you do the scan for a good open channel within that group. So the groups are kind of like major scales, where like it's got a collection of channels that work well.
How do you change the group?
Yeah, so you basically hit the menu button twice,
Okay.
and then you can go up or down, and then you hit enter.
Got it.
And so again, that's when you'll
Then menus.
you'll hit enter again, and then you do your scan and sync. And then to actually link the transmitter with the receiver, you hit the sync button, hold it in front, and there you go. So now this is Group 3, Channel 66. And then if you are able to figure out how to get the big antennas up, that's helpful. Okay. Otherwise, just make sure that these are, you know,
Up and out.
up and out.
We'll try that first.
Yeah. Anything else? I think that about covers it. I didn't color code the sub because it shouldn't need it. Everything else is nice and color labeled. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Feeling good about the setup. And it took maybe 5 hours. I got here at like 1:30, and it's 6.
Well, if you discount the scavenger hunt part.
We did scavenge a little bit for some of this stuff. Yeah. And I do want to showcase this thing too. My goodness, it's like a custom shock mount. I used an old windscreen to try and separate the mic from the frame because I couldn't get it hung exactly where I wanted. Sometimes you have to get creative with this stuff. And I thought I was totally being slick zip tying bungee cables, but that's apparently been the method. I've just never used bungees before, so I had a good time with that. The Crockett program is very near and dear to me. One of my closest friends is the head band director over here. She's been the assistant director, moved over to head director. She's been doing a great job with this program. I have been working with them for several years in many different capacities. I mean, I've taught with the kids directly. I've written show music. I've done sound design. I've handled their hardware system. I mean, I've done a lot for this group over the years. And, you know, even though they are a little bit smaller in numbers this year, you know, I'm sure they're going to be up to great things, and I can't wait to see what they do with it. So, as always, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. I know there's a few folks that have subscribed lately. A big thank you to everyone who has liked and all that stuff and supported the series. Still lots more to come. This coming weekend is my son's first birthday, so I'm going to be taking a few days off of work to be with family. And I think next Monday, so the next video, and Monday for me anyway, is going to be an installation at the Colony High School, another group that I've worked with for a few years now. So yeah, guys, I will see you then.